we have to be open to the possibility that it's a recurring cycle of destruction, because that's precisely what the ancient myths say, that there is some dark danger that visits the earth periodically over long periods of history. It may go away for thousands and thousands of years. It may be completely forgotten. It may be something that people never ever think about, but then, like a grim avenger, it comes back, it returns to strike us down again. And there seems to be some kind of cycle operating.
Regarding the question of whether there could be a 3,600-year orbit of a planet X or planet Nibiru or Wormwood or whatever you call it, is not that far-fetched.
Until the end of the Maya, we were keeping track of where this one planet was in the universe for two reasons. It was the return of the gods who created us.
When the ancient Greeks went back to Egypt, they asked the Egyptian priest cults what was civilization like a long time ago, and they said that in the previous 10,000 years they had major devastating events. These were the type that crushed their civilization. Not wars, not pestilence, but dramatic physical events that literally crushed their civilization back into the cave ages. And we see the devastation in cities in South America, ancient cities that are now being discovered, which were obviously destroyed by massive earthquake-type situations. Earth definitely, without question, has had major Earth changes that have destroyed entire civilizations, and the indication is that it was not that long ago.
You can pinpoint almost every 3,600-year period when this planet Nibiru came back into our solar system.
The chief scientist of the IRAS satellite actually announced having found this planet December 30th, 1983. It was picked up by 6 dailies. It made the Washington Post. It's one of those daily newspapers that picked it up. Very quickly thereafter, they wanted to make sure people understood that it was a mistake.
The attitude, the mentality amongst those who at the higher level, the highest levels of Vatican administration and Vatican geopolitics, know that now knowledge of what's going on in space and what's approaching us could be of great import in the next 5 years, 10 years.
Carefully and well-chosen words, Father. Thank you. West of the Rockies, you're on the air with Father Malachi Martin.
Every indication that about 4,000 years ago, the South Pole and the North Pole moved. The North Pole, I believe, was in somewhere north of the state of Wisconsin, and the South Pole was out in the Pacific Ocean. And scientists know pretty much for a fact by direct measurement that the ice cap on Antarctica is no more than 4,000 years old. And in fact, Antarctica prior to that was occupied. It was actually had animals and, I believe, human civilization. Siberia was a tropical climate 4,000 years ago with mammoths. If you saw the one they dug out of the Siberian tundra, this was a tropical animal that was quick frozen in the tundra with tropical plants frozen in its throat.
Our scientists have recently come aware of what they call extrasolar planets or traveling planets, brown dwarfs that are suns that are too small to really light but kind of smolder and emit their own light. Sometimes they're called wandering planets or wanderers. Most suns are binaries. Our sun is a binary. Our sun's twin never lit. It is a dark, dead sun.
There's another planet in our solar system that gods, super beings, live on this planet, that these beings come to Earth.
Sumerians described the Annunaki originally came here seeking gold and fine precious elements to repair their dwindling atmosphere. And that's why they created us, in their image and after their likeness.
We are here because of an act of divine creation, but they were people just like us, only older, only more technically advanced. We need to rediscover that in ourselves, that we are a great civilization. We came from a great civilization. And I would tell anybody to look, open your eyes and look for it. Don't be blinded to something that's led to nothing but the slaughter of ourselves for thousands of years. And we still are at that point. We're still a warring society. When this documentary or others like it are put out there and enough people will see it, at least that will start a beacon somewhere that will start shining a little bit brighter. And so at some point we're going to see that we have a different history than what we've been given. The proof's there.
Our true history may be indeed very different than what we've been taught through the ages. Whether this data has been withheld or our identities have just been forgotten, it is our responsibility now to rediscover who we are and where we're going.